Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of my active entries, Euro NZD. These entries were given out yesterday. They were given, see how yesterday there was no activity, right? But we added Euro NZD to this chart and we kind of broke some things apart. Here's what I want to throw at you here.
Again, we're going to start with 19, 15. Okay, those are the prices that I talked about. It was also where I had a running entry. The moment it got in, market. Yes, that's it. The trade that's, I just leave it alone. There's been other pairs.
All right, so this is Euro NZD, as you can see down here. This is what it looked like yesterday. What I was calling for was a sell.
Last week, gold. It just makes me a trader. Stick to your plan. And if your plan is wrong, it's wrong. But at least you lost based about. If you're win and you're comfortable in your trade and you plan for it, because that means you're being a trader, not a gambler. Being attached to your opinion on the market is for losers and bums. And you should never be that way, and I'm definitely not that way. I don't give a fuck. What I tell you guys always is stick to your plan.
Okay, so there's a couple of things that we're talking about there. I'm reminding them that a plan in the market is everything. Like any other investment, you need to know what you're going to do before you do it. Reacting emotionally to things is for idiots. When you're putting your money into something, you want to make sure that your money is going in as safely as possible. Obviously, when you invest your money into something, there's going to be a chance of you losing it, right? That's the thing with investing. That's the risk you take. In order to make money, you got to play money. That's the way it goes. So when you are trading in the market, you want to increase your probability, and you do that through planning for your trade. Now, obviously, I'm not going to get deeply into everything that you got to be thinking about here, but we have to begin somewhere. I said this in the last video, and I'm going to say it again. Stop trying to figure everything out all at once. You won't. It's not possible. You won't do it. No one does it. Everyone stumbles and fumbles in the beginning, and if you can't be comfortable with that, you're probably not good at anything, because I don't know anybody who's achieved anything out of the normal who didn't struggle in the beginning. No one is born with every single piece of information in between the ears to attack anything. We don't even know how to wipe our own asses when we're first born. So just do yourself a favor and slow it down. Take it piece by piece, day by day. Consistency is what creates traders in this game. I've taught enough people to tell you that with utmost certainty. The people who look for shortcuts, they may make some money, they may sell some education to make it look good, and they're making money through that, but they're not trading and they're not profiting, and they won't last. They will be gone. You want to know how somebody lasts years and years and years and years, like yours truly? This guy who's cursing on the mic right now and talking to you through this video, I lasted because I know what the hell I'm doing. And no matter what I say or do, or how much I push my, the way that I am onto people, and how many people I offend or get mad at me or don't like me, doesn't fucking matter. Because at the end of the day, when it all boils down to it, I know how to trade, and I know what the fuck I'm doing when it comes to these charts and how to teach other people. So because of that, I get away with a lot as far as what I can and cannot say. And that's just the way it goes. No one can do anything about it. That's why I tell you guys, learn the skill. Learn the skill. Take your time. Learn the skill. That way you can do whatever you want. You want to educate? You go ahead. You want to go and disappear in a mountain? You go ahead. You want to be one of the richest freaking people living inside of public housing? You go ahead, man. I don't care what you do. All I care about is that you understand that this isn't gambling. And this isn't going to be easy. And this isn't something you're going to learn overnight. But as you can see through the testimonials on my Instagram and the testimonials out there of people that you may know who are doing well in the market, it is worth it. It is worth it. You are literally, you and the screen pressing some buttons. So let's get into it. We're going to start with Euro NZD, okay? We could see yesterday Euro NZD was right here. Here's what I'm looking for on Euro NZD. I'm looking for a trend line break. That line you see there, what it's distinguishing for them and for myself as a reminder in my technical analysis is that market is ascending, going up, right? It's creating higher lows, right? And we discussed this in a previous video. I also know that it has a slight support. So a very simple thing that you can do, okay, is look for the market to create a breakout. That is, the market travels below that point, lingers below that point, which allows you to then have a higher chance of selling it off with some success. That is a very simple strategy. So let's take a look and what we have in front of us. So, as you can see here, this is today's market. It's the same Euro NZD, just 24 hours later. And what we were looking for was a sell. You'll notice that market was very, very comfortable in its ascending structure until it broke that trend line and then used that support as a place of break to then drop. The rest is history. This right here, not going to get into it, but that's what I wanted to show you. Let me give you some other examples, right? With trend on the trend line, right? You see that right there? That market is creating very nice, comfortable, precise, higher lows. A great place for you to look for an entry, okay? As it creates higher lows, and then it also creates you some support, you can take a more comfortable buy. Very simple things that you can look for. You may ask, well, Gustavo, how the hell do I know when that's happening? You gotta pay attention to your charts. There's no indicator out there that's gonna point that out for you. You have to watch your charts. You have to watch where the market has been. Another simple strategy that we discussed, very simple. You see the market preferring a low, you aim for that low as your price. You'd rather lose doing that than doing anything else. You see the market creating a high. You rather aim for that, for the sell, than do anything else. Now, eventually you would have lost because you're on the wrong side of it. You're not bullish, but it is what it is, okay? You have to start somewhere. If you want my suggestion, I would definitely go with very simple. You're looking for trends to the beginning of trends on an H1 or an H4. You're starting to look for that market to create simple structure for you to be able to assess higher lows, lower highs, things like that. Let's go daily, okay? Here, for example, this is a market where we were. You could see it's very similar to what I'm talking to you about right now. The market created highs. We ended up selling from that point. There's your trade. And yes, we took the whole damn thing. You are damn right. Now, what else do you notice about this area here? Let's fast forward to now. This is last week right here. It's not a coincidence that the market decided that, yeah, we're going to stop right here. There's a lot of resistance up here. That's why we spoke about that higher frame. So for the entry that I get, that for the non-signal or for the trade idea that I had yesterday, there was two questions in front of us. Do we continue to buy even though this thing's really bullish, or do we realize that on a higher frame, which is a frame that matters, right? A daily, a weekly, a monthly, those matter way more. You have way more strength on the chart on those assessments from a higher frame. You want real solid concrete information to break down, go daily and up. So when I looked at this chart, I just knew up here, I definitely can't buy. We can't do that. We can't start buying from this point when the market is literally within a ceiling. It is hitting its head on a ceiling, right? What ceiling? That ceiling, right? It's cracking its skull. It's going to need fucking stitches from the amount of times that it's cracked its skull on the ceiling. From there, when we lower our frame, we start to see that the market is now creating lower highs, which I already told you is a sign of bearish pressure, aka downtrend, a sell. So it is up to you to get the timing out of it. There was plenty of moments. There was one high, two highs, a third lower high. There was this concrete lower high over a day and a half. There was the break of the support. There was the break of this support. There's maybe the retracement and the retest of that area. It doesn't matter how you come up with what's comfortable for you, but you need to definitely know how the market is moving and where's the smartest place that you are comfortable with entering. These are the little things that you need to start working on as you begin as a trader, okay? One of the main questions that I got is, how do I find support and resistance? And the answer, as rude as it may sound, is your eyes. Now, what people are really asking me when they ask me that is, how do I know this one's going to win? And the answer, totally honest, is you don't. Nobody knows. It's a game of chance and a game of probability, like all trading. I could invest in Tesla right now. I made some money in Tesla stock, okay? But if I invest right now, am I making a smart decision just because it's been so bullish and just appreciating the whole time? No, I'm not, right? I did what I did. I made what I made. And now my choices are sell them or keep them. That's it. But I can't keep continuously trying to add to something that has hit its ceiling. That's called assessing flow. So we have to make sure, go back to the chart, that we always know where we're at. Here's an example, all right? Let's say I'm the buyer down here, all right? I find 1, 2, and I just aim for a third test, and then I'm going to take the buy. Very simple strategy. the market leaves. That reaction there, where that market creates yet again another support with more higher lows, is telling you that it's pushing up. These are the things that you're looking for. It also tells you it's not a good time to sell. These are the things that you're looking for. You need to look for supports and resistances and begin there. If you can't do that, the horizontal market, and you also can't see these higher lows, diagonal market, you got nothing. If you think an indicator is going to give that to you, it's not. Actually, we'll save that for the next video. All right, enjoy this video. If you want more videos like this one, right? Maybe I'd spend a little more time on the YouTube videos. I know I did. This one I was just giving you a quick idea because you guys asked, so I'm sending this out. Enjoy. Happy trading. All right, you thought the video was over. It's not. All right, this is 12 hours or maybe more after I finished the initial video. I decided to continue it. Now what we're looking at, those are all people taking trades from the stuff that we give out in the group. But the one that I really want to focus on is the most recent post. By the way, this is my Instagram, for those of you who don't know. This post right here, okay? You can see that on this post, he took Euro NZD for the sell. That is a sharp entry. It is exactly like the one that we were talking about yesterday. But let's continue that conversation, okay? Okay, so this is Euro NZD. This is it now. If you remember, when we scroll back and you'll see where the market was before. It was here, right? Now notice it's continued its bearish flow. It's dropped an additional 50 to 60 pips. We hit that hour chart and you could see where the market is trying to create resistance from a price that matters. Again, how I got the high confluence positions, that's not something we're going to talk about here. You got to pay for that. I'm sorry. Since the beginning of this course, I've told you, I'm going to give you those basic beginner steps, but that advanced day-to-day, that real, more complex confluence trades, Fibonacci work, breakout work, understanding the, more behind the curtain concepts, you got to pay for that because other people do and it's only fair. But as far as something that you could do, that I'm giving you for free, something that people push out there as some sort of magical pill, it's right in front of you, allowing the market to create highs in areas that you think are great seller spots, and do that, right? Wait it out. You see the market creating that high right there? You see that resistance? That's a good place to take a sell. Exhibit A, my sell right there. That's 30 pips. Done. Okay? Also notice this thing free fell. It fell strongly after breaking that trend line that we spoke about already and these key prices. Why? Because this thing hit an area of resistance right on the higher frame. It's a higher frame move, which is again why we always talk about using that higher frame. If you're going to trust anything, trust a higher frame, right? We've already spoken about that in previous videos in this course, and that's something that most people don't realize early in their career. They're always on that lower frame because the lower frame provides them information just quicker, so they feel more satiated. They feel like they're doing something. You're doing something. You're placing yourself in a position of weakness, in a place of low probability, and you're probably going to get slapped in the face by the market. So that's what you're doing. You're placing yourself in a weaker spot. You're already at a disadvantage before you even get into this market. So that's that. That's what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you three things. One, people take trades from what we do all the time. Two, the same exact trade that I'm talking to you about right now, I actually gave out, broke it down, and people took it within my group, and I specifically showed one person because the thing was disgustingly sharp and it needed to be highlighted, right? And he shouted me out, so that's what I do. I shout people out for shouting me out as a thank you. So there's that. So that's it. That's pretty much it. It shows you that what I'm giving you here is true value. It's not some made up concept or some BS thing that I'm feeding you. It's real. And again, yes, I know there's always more out there. Some of you have hit me up with the just tell us what it is. Not everybody has the money to pay. You don't have to pay me. You don't have to do that. You can go somewhere else. You can try to Google this stuff. You can figure it out that way. But it makes no sense for me. Let's be honest here. When people are actually paying me to find more consistency or take steps forward or have their breakthroughs, they're paying me for that stuff. I've been doing this for a long time, and now all of a sudden I'm going to decide to give it away all for free. That is unfair. That would piss anybody off. I know it would piss me off, and I just don't do things that way. This right here is me finding a middle ground to help you out, give you a starting point, and maybe you're lucky enough, or maybe your intent is strong enough, or maybe it's just something you wish to do to learn on your own if you want. And if you don't, you know who to go to. And that's pretty much it. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Happy trading.